Welcome to episode number 137 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for advertising, marketing professionals, PR professionals, and communication professionals at large. We're recording live on YouTube on April 3, 2016. Today's topics include the State Department trying to be funny, how Mattel lost millions, or almost lost millions, in a phishing scam, a smartphone firearm, Microsoft's conversational computing bet, Google's April Fool's joke gone awry, Alphabet of Literacy, the banana peel challenge, new use for virtual reality. Of course, we'll talk about some shiny new objects BL and I have discovered, and some stats you want to know. BL always kicks it off with the worst story. BL, what was it?
Well, I think the State Department trying to be funny was among the worst. They asked for people to use the hashtag spring breaking badly and they wanted you to tweet your travel mishaps. And it soon got really weird because they started to tweet weirdly. Like, their weirdest tweet of all was, not a 10 in the US, then not a 10 overseas. Beware of being lured into buying expensive drinks, or worse, being robbed. Spring breaking badly is the hashtag. Then they said, somebody offered you a free trip abroad, but the free luggage they offered is lined with cocaine. Beware of these scams. If someone asks you to take a package overseas, don't do it. Foreign jail is not where you want to spend spring break. Then everybody said, what are you doing? So they said, well, we made no mention of gender, and this can happen to anybody, unfortunately. And that was their lame-ass excuse for what turned out to be a whole lot of very, very weird tweets and interchanges with people. And, not a 10 in the US, you're not, well, what?
Yeah, what does that, I don't even understand that.
I don't know. Don't let somebody be charming to you in a bar overseas. I don't know what they were trying to do, but this is what happens when humorless people try to be funny, I guess. Or
maybe it went through a bunch of vetting processes and came up mangled in the end because they had to get it approved by a zillion people before they could tweet it.
Well, I mean, anybody that approved, watch out, your suitcase is going to be lined with cocaine, they should be fired. Give us one of yours.
Well, this is a cautionary tale. Mattel had a big scare recently. This is from a Next Web article by Brian Clark. So a Mattel finance executive fell victim to a phishing scam. This executive wired $3 million to Chinese hackers. The unnamed executive got an email requesting a vendor payment in the amount of $3 million to a vendor in China. Mattel had at the time been going through a period of change. Their new CEO, Christopher Sinclair, had officially taken over after Mattel had fired his predecessor, and that move aided the con artist. The phishing email came directly from Sinclair, or so this executive who wired the money thought. She was wrong, of course. Mattel protocol requires that fund transfers be approved by two high-ranking managers. The woman who actually wired the money was one of them, and Sinclair, of course, the new CEO, was the other. So when she got the email from Sinclair, or who she thought it was from Sinclair, she thought the protocol had been satisfied, and wired the $3 million to the Bank of Wenzhou in China. Hours later, she mentioned the payment to Sinclair, who, of course, said, what? Mattel executives tried to stop the transfer, but the bank informed that it had already made its way to China. But luckily, the transfer took place on Friday, and it happened to be a bank holiday, so the money couldn't be retrieved until the bank opened the following Monday. They took advantage of that time and worked with Chinese authorities, who were able to reclaim the wired cash. But yeah, wow.
And she didn't notice anything strange about the return address or the one that she would...
Well, there's the thing, you need to have, obviously I didn't see the email, so I didn't see how sophisticated it was, but there are some telltale things you should watch out for before you so you don't get taken advantage
very
of.
fundamental telltale things, you know. So there was something horrifying that I came across. I found it initially from NBC News, and then I tracked it down, and I was mortified to see that how many thousands of likes it had. There's a company that created a gun that folds up to look just like a cell phone. And their Facebook page immediately had 15,000 likes. And on their website, it said, in today's day and age, carrying a concealed pistol has become a necessity. But what if you didn't have to conceal? That's where Ideal Conceal comes in. Smartphones are everywhere, so your new pistol will easily blend in with today's environment. This is chilling. In its locked position, it'll be virtually undetectable because it hides in plain sight. It's a double barrel, 380 caliber, ingeniously designed to resemble a smartphone, and then you click it and it opens up and it's ready to shoot.
So it unfolds?
It pops open and it's the same size as a Galaxy S7 phone. And so it's about 3 by 5 inches. It can fit in your pocket. And yeah, pops open, ready to fire. Loaded. Holy shit.
Yeah. I'll be paying closer attention to people's phones from now on.
Yeah, really. I mean, oh my God. You know, that's just really, really frightening. So, but you know, the fact that it went viral was more frightening to me than the fact that it existed, because anybody can create anything. So, do you have another bad one? Because
I do. This is not along those lines. This is April Fools, right? We just had April Fools, and
sadly,
everybody's been pranking everyone, and Google included. They happened to have one that didn't quite go as they had plans. This is from The Guardian, article by Alex Hearn. So Google's Gmail stunt, the Gmail mic drop is what it's being called, started rolling out first in Australia. It featured a special version of the send button, which appended a GIF of Minion dropping dressed as the Queen and dropping the mic at the end of your email. And so everyone, this is a quote from the Google post about it. Everyone will get your message, and that's the last you'll ever hear about it. Yes, even if folks try to respond, you won't see it. And so, of course, people use Gmail on April Fools, as they do every other day, for business purposes. And sometimes there are urgent needs that people need to correspond on. And if you don't hear from those people, then things can go awry. And they did in this case. So here's a quote from one of the people who it went badly for. Thanks to mic drop, I lost my job. I am a writer and had a deadline to meet. I sent my articles to my boss and never heard back from her. I inadvertently sent the email using the mic drop send button. There were corrections that needed to be made on my articles, and I never received her replies. My boss took offense to the mic drop animation and assumed that I didn't reply because I thought her input was petty, hence the mic drop. I just woke up to a very angry voicemail from her, which is how I found out about this hilarious prank. End of
oh my God, that's
obviously
horrible.
Email routinely for business correspondence. We use Gmail at my agency. I use Gmail personally and used it for business correspondence when I freelance. I mean, I could have easily offended a client by not responding to him. This should have been anticipated.
Well, you know, this is what we ask each other every week. Like, how could they not think of that? You know, like, what were they thinking? I mean, that's just so not funny. But also not funny. All of a sudden, I see banana peel challenge is trending on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell is that? And by Wednesday, it had 1,451 tweets. And the challenge is that you put a banana peel on the floor, and then you step on it, and you videotape what happens after that. And of course, you fall on your head and break your wrists and whatever. It didn't say how many broken bones there were, but by Thursday, it was pretty much gone. You know, and I mean, you could clearly tell people were really getting hurt. You know, I mean, it's screaming, and it was horrible. And it was not like for any reason. You know, it wasn't it was just like, I just wonder what would happen. And so this guy does it, and then everybody goes, well, I wonder what would happen too. Boom.
Reminds me of the movie Jackass.
Yes, totally, totally. Not for charity, not for anything. I mean, yeah, just like the movie Jackass, absolutely.
Stupid human tricks.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was one of the stupider ones. You know, it really makes you shake your head. But one that made me really admire the cleverness of it is Project Literacy. Unless you have more bad news, I'm on to better news.
Now, let's go on to good news.
No, Project Literacy is a global movement, and it was convened by the UK educational publisher Pearson, and they hope to make significant, sustainable advances in the fight against literacy. And it uses tools that range from video to virtual reality to help explain the need, because it's a largely invisible issue. 757 million people worldwide are unable to read or write, and the project maintains there's a direct link between literacy and just about every global development issue: poverty, hunger, unemployment, gender inequality. And so the initiative is backed by 40 charities, including UNESCO and National Literacy Trust. And one of the cleverest things that they have is a virtual reality way that you can experience a day in the life of an illiterate person, and how absolutely overwhelmingly confusing that is. And you begin to understand, you know, how awful it would be. And it's such a direct way of showing you. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is very cool. And it's I mean, the virtual reality is an excellent medium to try and help people understand what that is like. I can't imagine what it's like. I used to volunteer for a literacy organization in the Twin Cities, helping people read, and it was, I mean, I'm an English major. I think it's tremendously important for a whole host of reasons, not the least of which are employment, but also being able to, you know, understand and understand your own thought process. I really don't think I really know what I know what I think until I write it down and get it on paper, and I'm able to examine it, you know, objectively.
But it's so fundamental. Right? I mean, you can't get a driver's license. You can't read labels in the supermarket. You can't sign a contract and know what you're signing. I mean, the fundamental issues that it brings up are so enormous. And, right. You know, yeah, this is really something that I think is unbelievably commendable, and I hope successful.
Absolutely. Well, from virtual reality to kind of an actual reality application, here's a Google stunt on April Fool's that went well. Google released a video for their new product. We've talked about Google Cardboard before, right, on the show. This is Google Cardboard Plastic. In fact, the day before April Fool's, there was I read some snippet of something that Google was allegedly coming out with a new VR headset that was a plastic VR headset. So this was a leak, obviously intended to tease this. But the Google Cardboard Plastic is a video of people basically think of the cardboard headset, and it's just clear plastic, and people are wearing it around and saying, "Oh my God, it's such a amazingly real world." It's just people looking through clear plastic. And there's one scene where somebody speaks to a person wearing the Google Cardboard Plastic, and she's going, "Oh my God, the surround sound," and then it's a 360 sound. It's very, very funny. So we'll have a link to the video.
That was one of the better brand pranks, I would say. Yeah. So this is not a prank by any means, but Facebook launched a series of monthly blog posts. Facebook for Business launched a series of monthly blog posts on their business resources, because I guess they realize that a lot of businesses have no idea what the resources are. So the emphasis is on tools for Instagram ads and mobile. And they brought up what is new and all the things that have been launched since the beginning of the year, like Canvas now has full screen mobile ad experience. And they give examples of brands that are using it. Leads Ads has a new CRM partners and updates to make signing up for information easier. There are updated video ads and examples from Taco Bell and Strongbow, and creative guidelines for the carousel format. And then there are courses. There are 9 15-minute blueprint e-learning courses, 6 of which are focused on Instagram, none of which I even knew existed.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. More educational resources from a different company. Microsoft had their Build 2016 conference, and they focused this year on what they're calling conversational computing. And so they are calling on developers to create bots for their virtual digital assistant, Cortana. So Microsoft thinks bots are going to be the new apps. It's the boat they famously missed with their Windows Mobile, but this is different. They're asking people to develop on top of the artificial intelligence interface of Cortana and create bots for all various reasons. They need content now that they've got the application, and they're hoping developers will provide that in the form of features and bots. Redmond thinks the future holds the interaction with virtual assistants rather than mobile apps. I think that's probably right. Voice input is a micro trend among the larger macro trend of sort of effortless input, right? You think about ubiquitous computing, computers all over the place, where we've gone from punch cards to magnetic tape to command lines to mice to scanners to Microsoft Connect. Can recognize your gestures, to Google Glass, smartphones with cameras for input, augmented reality, GPS signals, Amazon Echo now, and the next final step is brain computing interfaces, where you just think about it and it happens. But it's probably a good bet that they're putting on the voice activated input. So.
Well, just this week they brought back Tay, the bot, for a brief period, and it was once again overtaken by negative comments. So I think Microsoft has a way to go in the bot area, but they'll keep trying.
Actually, I would argue that it demonstrates how well their technology works. I mean, that Tay learned to be racist really quickly based on input from, it was learning from what people were teaching it.
Yes,
you
but
got to account for that programmatically.
What we discussed last week was that they should have accounted for that programmatically to begin with. So they brought it back, and apparently they had not thought of the various ways that people could be evil. I guess maybe it's not possible to think of all those ways. Who knows? But you would think the more obvious ones could definitely be programmed. You got to be thinking. Yeah. So speaking of virtual reality, the eBay subsidiary StubHub is using virtual reality to show you, unfortunately not with photographs, with drawings, the actual view from the seat that you're about to buy before you buy your ticket. So rather than just looking at a seating chart and not really knowing how well you're going to see the stage, they are making it possible for you to actually see the stage for Final Four ticket buyers. And you get sort of an immersive 3D view of the available seats. And they're going to have an option for baseball tickets for the AT&T Park, which is the home of the San Francisco Giants. And it works from iOS and Android. And you can either use a smartphone or tablet and rotate it around to see different views, or you could put your phone into Google Cardboard or Gear VR and have a little more immersive view. So that's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. That's a great application of that technology. Now all they need is to let you know and see who you'll be sitting next to.
And how they'll smell.
So,
or whether they'll use their phone to text during the show.
Right. Twitter is apparently experimenting again. This is from a Recode article by Kurt Wagner. So Twitter's considering a new product calling, wait for it, drum roll please, stickers. It lets you add images to photos before you tweet them. The feature will let you see how others around the world have edited the same photo. So if you're using the same photo, you'll be able to see how other people are applying stickers to it. We'll also suggest photos that you can edit and post to participate in trending conversations and breaking news surrounding those photos. They're testing it with some users as a way to garner feedback, so it's not public yet. But Snapchat has stickers, Facebook has stickers, so too must Twitter.
Well, letting you see how other people are doing it is interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, that's kind of interesting. Well, also this week, Instagram started allowing 60-second videos. This is from a VentureBeat story by Ken Jung. And, there's got to be a lot of experimentation in social media, and everybody's trying to beat out everybody else with features that will make people stick around and make advertisers want to be there too. So that's the latest. We'll see how that goes.
Very cool. We'll have to try that out. Yep. I'm done with my good stuff. Are we on to new stuff?
We are on to new stuff, and I saw something very interesting this week. I use NUVI, which we did a demo of here on, I forget which episode of the show. And NUVI was first to market. There are other competitors who have this now too, with a tool that actually monitors Facebook's public feeds and allows you to gain brand insight from them. And it's a very, very in-depth look. Most people make most everything public, depending on their age, I suppose. But there's an awful lot of public information out there on Facebook, and they've begun to open the firehose. So it costs anywhere between $400 and $4,000 a month, depending on the size of the business that's using it. But it's well worth a look, and I have some illustrations of it. And we'll put in a link to where you can learn more about it. It's brand new, and I tried it out and was fascinated by the results.
Very cool, very cool. It looks like, yeah, Facebook's opening up some of that data. I noticed that that NetBase has started to incorporate Facebook data as well. So that's been a long time coming, because the critical mass that is Facebook, there's a lot of stuff going on in Facebook that has been heretofore inaccessible. So that's a good development. I tried out a cool and cute little app. It's a web app called Beam, and if you want to create good-looking charts quickly, this is the thing to use. So it's at beam.vengage.com, and basically it's just a web app, and you start with your set of data, whatever you want to chart. You can choose a pie chart, a bar chart, horizontal or vertical, or a line chart, and format it according to a handful of palettes, and you can edit the font face you want to use and font size and everything for the title of it and for the labels. But it's really quick and dirty and good looking charts. So have at it. It was fun to use and easy to use.
Oh, I cannot begin to tell you how I have sweated and cried over those in Excel. So
Excel makes among the ugliest charts available. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't wait to see that. The other thing that I saw this week that I found very interesting was Pulpix, which is free to small publishers, and all you have to do is copy and paste a little JavaScript widget on your website, and then you get a video player that suggests contextual content from your site in real time. So the video that somebody was watching to begin with, or the article that they were reading to begin, well, the video would be in the bottom right corner, and you could click right into an article that you wanted to read. And I think that is very geeky and wonderful, and it's free to try. And I think that it's definitely worth a look, a close look.
So it's a recommendation engine of your own content, is that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
From your own site.
Cool.
Yeah, so we could use it on our site. Anytime that anybody clicked on a link of something we talked about, they could read it and not leave our site.
Nice.
Cool, right?
Yeah, very cool. This is a very cool app that has been around, and I only just discovered it and started using it. Apple Music Memo, and so if you are a musician, this is the app you should be using. It's you use it just to record musical ideas. Basically, you can use it for singing. You can use it for any instrument, and it records. It's on your phone, and it'll record your snippets of music and save them to your phone. Then you can export them to GarageBand or other sound editing services. But I use this all the time just to capture ideas that I've got for guitar, so that I don't. So I remember it. I like it, but you never know. Sometimes you forget stuff you play. So bring out the phone. Always got it with you, and record a little piece, and it's there for posterity.
So, Dave, do you
Yeah.
have some of your guitar music online that you could link to for our listeners?
Sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could put something in the show notes, I guess.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And because I like what you do. I came across like the motherload of tools for freelancers provided by Bonsai, it's a free tool, and Bonsai is pretty cool too. It lets you have free contracts, and they're quick, they're easy. You can do billing, you can send reminders. It's a very cool service for freelancers, and they have literally a page with hundreds of tools for freelancers. It's like the motherload of tools to try, and I was very busy trying many of them this week.
Very cool. Whatever you can do to make the busy work of being a freelancer easier, because
There's so
freelancers want
much
to
of it.
freelance because they love doing what they're doing and not the grunt work of the stuff you need to do. So that's great. Yeah. So I'm done on the.
Okay,
On the
well,
daily numbers.
I also came across in that freelance stack the blog post headline analyzer, and boy, was that helpful. It basically picks out the keywords and in your headline or the ones you're missing, and I rewrote my headline after I did that because I realized like I had it all wrong, and it let me take it down to the essence in like 10 seconds. Very good idea.
Very cool. I came across a BuzzSumo, which is a tool I use. I think we've talked about it
I use
on the show
BuzzSumo.
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
BuzzSumo article that examined how to make a headline go viral, basically
This week,
based
yeah.
on data that they use on like lists and using emotion in it, and so it's a good read to understand why some headlines work. Why some headlines get shared a lot and others don't.
Well, when you ask a question, when you use like those words like amazing and, there's emotional hot words, and advertising, direct mail knows that, and it's like how astounding how many copywriters don't, how many social media copywriters don't.
Yep.
So
17 colossal mistakes freelancers need to avoid.
right,
Yep.
exactly. Exactly. So I think that brings us to your daily numbers.
All right. So today we have the rise of streaming TV shows. This is from data from FX Network. In 2009, streaming services, meaning like Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, Amazon Prime. In 2009, there were 2 original scripted TV series produced by a streaming service. In 2010, that doubled to 4, all the way to 2015, when there were 44. So from 2009 to 2015, 44. By comparison, broadcast television in 2009 had 122 scripted TV shows, original scripted TV shows, and by 2015 they had 104 47. So only 20 some odd more original series in broadcast. In cable, 2009 had 66, and by 2015 there were 181. This is called the golden age of television. A lot of great television programming. That's basic cable. On pay cable in 2009 had 21. By 2015 there were 37. So it's surprisingly there are not nearly as many in pay cable as there are in basic cable. But just streaming services are on the rise, especially in original content.
What's interesting is that Netflix is offering less than it offered before in other people's content as they up the amount of their original content that they're offering. And I would imagine that that's going to happen in other streaming services. But the first number that you had, the small difference between streaming TV shows and network is kind of remarkable to me. What was the difference?
Yeah, I was surprised that there weren't as many shows. I would have expected a lot more original content. But then when you think about it, what does broadcast TV have on it? It has live events and reality TV.
Lots and lots of reality TV.
Yeah. and celebrity shows, game shows, and award shows and stuff. So you don't need a script for that.
Well, you also don't really need to subscribe to, you really don't need to subscribe to your cable TV for that either. I mean, less and less reason to do that. And this past week, Optimum started offering a service for cord cutters. And so you have like a $29 basic service with them, and then you can get access to all of the channels because you have, I guess, a converter that you get from them instead of going to Radio Shack and getting it from them for $10. But that's definitely making note of the fact that we're leaving in droves.
Yep.
So do you want to take us out?
That concludes episode number 137 of the Beyond Social Media Show. We'll have links to everything we talked about at beyondsocialmediashow.com/137 shortly after this show is completed. Let us know what you think by leaving us some comments, a review. You can find places to leave us a review at beyondsocialmediashow.com/love. My name is David Erickson. You can find me on Twitter at @DErickson. I blog at e-strategyblog.com and creativepr.com/blog. BL you will find on Twitter at What's Next. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. Hire her for online events and video at maximum-plus.com. You'll also find her writing for Ad Age. The show you can find at beyondsocialmediashow.com. We're on Twitter at BS Media Show. You can subscribe to our newsletter at beyondsocialmediashow.com/newsletter. And until next week.
Wait, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get the big book of shiny new objects, which contain the best of the shiny new objects that we cover on the show. And we need to update that one. And we will update that on a regular basis. And only subscribers to our newsletter can have that. So you better sign up. So we'll be back next week, same time, same station. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.